Alright, today we are taking a look at a Timex piece that has had my attention for a while, but I never really pulled the trigger on it. And I finally got my hands on one, and I'm pretty excited to take a look at it and compare it to some other Timex pieces that I have. Lately I've actually been on a pretty big Timex binge. I've found a couple other watches at great price points, and I pulled the trigger on them. So right now I do have maybe 5 Timex pieces in my collection. So this is just another one of those. In terms of the packaging, it's pretty standard as most of their Timex watches I've owned. Like their Snoopys or Marlins, they all come in this kind of long box, and the Timex Q that you see here. So today we are taking a look at another Timex Q, but this time it's going to be the Falcon Eye, the reissue. Here it is. And obviously just look at that dial. That's amazing. I do think this does have a plastic over it. I see it and I feel it. There it is. Yeah, that dial is just something else. Beautiful, beautiful watch. So like a lot of other brands, Timex has been reissuing some of their classic watches, going for that nostalgic market, and I think it's definitely working. These are very, very popular, and with good reason. The great looking watches are solid, and they do appeal to those who have seen these or owned these in the past. So this one here is a Falcon Eye. Obviously there's a green, there's a blue version of this, but there's more on the green or emerald side. The dial is just incredible. Those indices really do pop also. And this is another one in their line of the Timex Q, which as far as I understand they're all mostly reissues, and I have another one down here that I'll compare it to. So specification wise, you're looking at a 38mm case, thickness of around 12mm, and a water resistance of 50 meters. Now that is something that has received some criticism, especially with these diver styled watches, and I do say styled because at 50 meter of water resistance, people kind of scoff at that and say that's not a true diver. But me, honestly, I'm of the opinion that I'm not going to take these watches diving. They'll probably never be submerged in water, not even in a pool or anything like that. I do think that if I'm going to go swimming, I'll just use a G-Shock or no watch at all. So to me, 100 meters, 150 meters, 200 meters, it's not going to really make a difference. Though I do think that those criticisms are valid, just maybe not specifically applying to me. Lug width is of 18mm, so you can change these out, but I have found that the straps kind of do look a little weird on this style of case, though it might just be my personal choice of straps. I have seen some do it well. Personally, I haven't found a great strap for these. The bracelet does have a pretty nice taper to it, and I think that's part of the reason why this works well, and this goes for that vintage reissue design. Yeah, you can really see the taper here. You can get these for around $150 if you have a coupon or something like that off their Timex website. A lot of people do, again, they criticize the price point because for $150 you can get a lot of different automatic watches, especially from Seiko. But again, to me at this price point, anything I think at $150, just for the design, just for the nostalgic feel, I don't think you can really say much about a $150 watch. This will hold up for quite a bit of time, and I do think not just that it's not overpriced, I do think it's a nice value, especially for those who want something unique like this. You will never find something just like this. New, meaning that it's not vintage, and at that price point, and with the kind of heritage that Timex has. So really, to me, I do think this might even be a good value at $150, because I am one that does think that the watch is a lot more than just the movement itself. But let's go ahead and do some size comparisons to really show this one off. First, we'll start with this Casio. And the reason I bring this one out is because this one's just enormous compared to this. This one does run at around 42 millimeters. And with the thin bezel, it does wear bigger than that, and that shows clearly here. And I brought this up because they're in similar price points, though this one is solar powered. But yeah, this one is just enormous compared to it. Thickness wise also, it's just way thicker. And I do love this watch actually. I like the color designs on it. And I do think it's a good value too. I just wanted to show off the size comparisons here. But really the big one that I wanted to compare is this, kind of the brother of this watch. This was actually the original Timex Q that was reissued. When Timex announced their launching of the new Qs, I do believe this was the absolute first one. And it was actually sold out for quite a while. I couldn't find one, and I had to do a whole wait list kind of thing, and I caught one. And this was actually maybe 4 or 5 years, 3 or 4 years ago. Battery's still going, everything works fine. So what are the differences in these? Obviously the design ones are clear. The case is a little bit different, mainly because this one has a diver style bezel, this one doesn't. One thing that I did notice right off the bat is that the bracelets here are different. I did not expect that. I would have thought they were the exact same bracelet, but they're not, and that's fine. There's similar specifications. And again, this one has gotten some criticism for the water resistance, but I personally love it. I think it's a cool design that is clearly a vintage design, but you're getting all new technology on it. I don't have to worry about the watch actually being, 30, 40 years old. I think the absolute same applies to this one. So let's go ahead and do some lume shots and see how these lumes compare and hold up. So I am going a little bit darker than usual. Usually I do have some light, but I have gotten some comments asking for me to go darker to really show the magnitude of it, and here it is. So we'll go ahead and start with the Falcon Eye. Here it is. That's nice. Loomed hands, loomed indices. I would have personally liked for the actual indice to be marked, to be loomed, but if not, that's honestly not that big of a deal, not a problem. Let's go ahead and compare this to the Casio. See, and this is kind of the kind of lume I would have appreciated, but again, it's not that big of a deal. Similar lume. Similar lume strength too. And finally, let's compare this to the Q brother here. I've always loved this lume. At this price point, I find it pretty nice lume to have all the markers and so evenly distributed. So it's just a great application of lume here. I'm actually liking the Falcon Eye a lot more than I expected to like it. The dial color is just as unique as they come, and this will actually be on the wrist quite a bit. So let's do that. Let's throw it on the wrist and see how that one wears. So on the wrist, it does wear similar to the other Q that I've owned. At 38 millimeters, it should wear pretty small, but it actually doesn't. And it actually doesn't in a good way. It has some substance to it. That absolutely pops in natural light. Absolutely. It wears pretty flat. I do have small wrists, but flat wrists, so it does wear really well. And absolutely, this is going to be on the wrist for quite a bit of time. Really excited and happy to finally own this one.